Have you ever dreamed of a life filled with daring sea battles and treasure hunts? Welcome aboard, as we set sail on an extraordinary journey through the Golden Age of Piracy. Join us as we unravel the tale of John King, the youngest pirate to ever sail the high seas, and delve into the legendary exploits of the fearsome Captain Black Sam Bellamy. In a time where the ocean was a vast, lawless frontier, these pirates wrote their names in history with sword, courage, and cunning. From thrilling raids to the tragic end of the Whydah Galley, discover the untold stories behind these legendary figures. Stay with us as we embark on this incredible voyage to uncover the truth behind the myths of the most notorious pirates. The tale of young John King and Black Sam Bellamy is about to unfold.
As far back as I can remember, the sea was my first love. Born in a bustling coastal town in England, I grew up with salt in my hair and dreams of the ocean in my heart. The docks were my playground, where tales of distant lands and daring adventures were traded like precious pearls. Each story, each whispered legend of pirates and treasures, only stoked the fire of adventure within me. Then came the day of change. Mother said we were sailing to the Caribbean for a new life in the colonies. I still remember standing on the deck of that merchant ship, eyes fixed on the horizon, heart pounding with excitement and a bit of fear. But nothing could have prepared me for what lay ahead. It was a day like any other when the lookout cried, "Pirate ship ahoy!" There she was, Whydah Galley, her black sails billowing like a dark omen. Fear gripped the crew and passengers, but within me, it sparked something different, an unexplainable allure. The pirates boarded our ship with the ferocity of a tempest. Swords clashed and people screamed. Amidst the chaos, I saw him, Captain Bellamy, a figure straight out of the stories I cherished, and in that moment of madness, I made my choice. Mother begged, pleaded for me to stay by her side. But the sea's call was louder, more compelling than any plea. With a heart full of courage, or perhaps foolishness, I stepped forward. "I want to join you," I declared, my voice steady, eyes locked with the captain's. A hush fell over the deck. Bellamy looked at me, a smirk playing on his lips, then a nod. That nod sealed my fate. I was no longer just John King, the dockside dreamer. I was about to become John King, the youngest member of a pirate crew, and so began my journey into a world beyond the ordinary, a world of danger and freedom on the high seas with the most feared pirates of the age. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine standing on the deck of the Whydah Galley, a true pirate ship, as one of them. The crew eyed me with suspicion at first, a boy among hardened sea rogues. But Captain Bellamy's word was law, and his nod was my shield. Life on the Whydah was nothing like the tales. It was harder, harsher, a constant battle against the sea and the self. My first days were spent scrubbing the deck, climbing the rigging, and enduring the crew's harsh banter. But with each passing day, I carved a place for myself among them. I learned to tie knots, to read the stars for navigation, and to handle a cutlass. Each pirate, in their own gruff way, imparted lessons of the sea, lessons of survival. I listened, I learned, and slowly I earned their grudging respect. The Whydah was more than a pirate ship. It was a floating democracy. I saw men who would have been nobodies on land command respect and have their say. Decisions were made by vote, and even I had a voice. This sense of freedom, of equality, it was intoxicating. Underneath the rough exterior, I found camaraderie, a sense of belonging I hadn't known I was seeking. With each sunrise over the endless sea, I felt more a part of this world, a world where a boy could be a pirate and a pirate could be free. The open sea was a realm of endless possibilities and dangers. I remember my heart pounding as we hoisted the Jolly Roger for my first raid. The Whydah, sleek and swift, closed in on a Spanish merchant ship like a predator. Swords drawn, cannons ready, we were a storm about to break. The clash was fierce but swift. We overpowered the merchant crew, and the spoils were beyond imagination. Chests of gold coins, silk, and spices from faraway lands. I couldn't believe the wealth that now lay at our feet. Life under Captain Bellamy was a study in contrasts. He could be as fierce as the ocean during a storm, yet there were moments of surprising kindness. I watched and learned from him, not just the ways of piracy, but lessons of leadership and honor among thieves. Bellamy had a way with words, a way of making us believe in something greater. We weren't just pirates, we were liberators of the sea, he'd say. His charisma was infectious, and under his command, the Wider became more than a ship, it was a symbol of freedom. Each raid, each conquest, added to our legend. But more than the gold, it was the adventure that captivated me. The thrill of the unknown, the bonds forged in battle. In the company of Bellamy and my fellow pirates, I found a life I had only dreamed of as a boy on the docks. Amidst our life of freedom and defiance, there came a day that would mark Captain Bellamy's greatest triumph. The day we set our sights on the Quedar Merchant, a ship famed for her riches. The chase was like a dance on the waves. The Wider, swift and fierce, pursued the Quedar Merchant under Bellamy's expert command. We closed in, hearts pounding, as the distance between us and our prize shrank. Then came the battle, a clash of iron and will. Cannonballs tore through the air, and as we boarded the merchant ship, steel met steel. I found myself amidst the chaos, fighting not just for treasure, but for survival, for the thrill of the conquest. The Quedar Merchant was ours. The spoils were beyond anything we had ever seen. Gold, jewels, and precious goods. The air was filled with cheers and the deck with dances of victory. It was a moment of triumph, of unrivaled glory for Bellamy and his crew. Standing there, amidst the bounty of our conquest, I saw in Bellamy not just a feared pirate, but a master of the seas. His dream, his ambition. It had led us to this moment of unparalleled success. Our tale aboard the Wider was not to last forever. Fate had a different ending in store. It was a night like no other, as dark clouds gathered, foretelling a storm of great fury near the shores of Cape Cod. The sea turned against us, waves like towering beasts. We fought to steer through the tempest, but the Wider was no match for nature's wrath. The ship creaked and groaned, a solemn prelude to our doom. In those final moments, time seemed to stand still. Water rushed in, and the Wider began her descent into the depths. There was chaos, fear, and then darkness. Centuries later, the sea revealed her secrets. The Wider, once lost to history, was found. With her, treasures and tales of our adventures resurfaced. Among them, a small shoe, a silk stocking, silent witnesses to my presence, a boy among pirates. The discovery of the Wider speaks to the heart of our journey, a testament to our existence. I, John King, the youngest pirate, am more than just a footnote in history. My story, etched in the relics of the deep, is a reminder of a life lived at the edge of the world, in the company of the sea's most daring souls.
Samuel Bellamy, known to history as Black Sam, stood apart in the annals of piracy. Charismatic, daring, and remarkably successful, he captured the imaginations of many and the envy of others. Born in England in the late 17th century, Bellamy turned to the sea for adventure and fortune. His journey to piracy was fueled by a desire for wealth and perhaps a rebellion against the rigid class structures of the time. In a remarkably short period, Bellamy rose to become a fearsome pirate captain. His most significant conquest, the Wider Galley, became his flagship and a symbol of his power. The wealth Bellamy amassed through his exploits was extraordinary, earning him the title of the richest pirate. Yet, Bellamy was more than a mere plunderer of the seas. He was known for his democratic ideals, treating his crew with fairness and sharing the spoils equally. His legend is also tinged with romance. The story of his love for Maria Hallett, a love cut short by his untimely death at sea. Black Sam Bellamy's legacy is a blend of myth and reality, a story of a man who chased freedom and fortune on the high seas. His life, as brief as it was brilliant, continues to captivate those who hear his tale, a testament to the enduring allure of the pirate's life.